So we'll start with our classes. Now, the first thing which I am going to cover is, now you saw that every time I am interacting with database, I have to write like uh, dollar connection equal to MySQL underscore connect, and then all the parameters like what is the host name, what is the username, password, database, all those things. Now suppose that I have a big website, and big in the sense that I have like hundreds of pages, and on every page there is a MySQL query. Okay. Now, so on every page I have written this connection object. Now suppose that I change the password of my database. So from root blank password, I set it to root 123. Now, if I have 1,000 pages or even 100 pages, on each page I will have to go and correct that mistake. So to avoid that, we have one method where one way. So in that way, I can create a file db.php, and I can declare all the variables in there. So like I can say $host equal to whatever value, local host. I can say dollar user equal to root, dollar pass dollar password equal to, for now it is blank, dollar db equal to test. Okay, so in that way I will create a file which and I will include this file. So wherever required, I will include this file in my other page. So just like we have been doing for CSS and JavaScript or DTD, that create a file and include it in your main file. So similarly here also we have created one file, and we will include wherever required. So in that way, if any change is made, I only have to make the change here. So like instead of localhost, if I have to write like db.cdac.in, so only I have to make change in one page. And since it is included on other pages, automatically that value will change in other pages. Okay. So I have created this file. Now let us add this. So in the XML, right, just now we have used this. So all I will have to do is include, and then that file name. So what is the file name? db.php, and then semicolon. Once I include, after that, instead of writing these values, fixed values, I will replace it with host, user, password, and db. So in that way, these are like variables whose value is stored in db.php, and if any change is made here, automatically it will be reflected in this XML write.php. Okay, so I can use include to include any external file. Now if I run this, so still it will run without any problem. You can see user.xml is created. I will just save it so that it formats itself. Now it is formatted. Okay, so this is important part, that any configuration which is common across multiple pages, we should write in a single file and then include it in respective pages wherever it is required. So it helps in it helps in, first thing is we don't have to make changes in multiple files. Rather, we only have to make change in single file, and since it is included everywhere, automatically the change will be reflected in other pages. Okay, so this is include. Now, there is another method similar to include, which is require. So both are similar. Only one difference is that if that file is not there, like db.php is not there, then you will only get a warning and still next code will be executed. But in require, since it is a required file, if the file is not there, so it will exit with an error. So next lines won't be executed. So that is the difference between include and require. So require is something like mandatory. Okay, so that is the include or require. Now, next, a small thing is command line PHP. So how can I execute any PHP file from a command line? So let us, we'll go to a command line. So cmd. Now on command line, this PHP file, if you see this PHP file, I already said that any PHP file, it will be interpreted by a PHP interpreter. Okay, so since only that interpreter will know how to handle this PHP file. Now, in our example, if we are using XAMPP, so inside XAMPP there is a PHP folder, and inside PHP folder there is a file php.exe. php.exe. So this php.exe file is responsible for parsing all your PHP files. So basically, it parses and converts it to HTML. Or if like database code is there, so interact with the database, and then whatever result is has come, it will display as a HTML. So in command line also we will use the same interpreter. So we can go to that folder cd XAMPP PHP. Now, or I can use absolute path. So instead I can be here like cd st-docs, cd cd is for change directory. I hope you know this. So cd pg-dag, I went to this, and first I will create a PHP file. So suppose I create a PHP file in Notepad. So Notepad space command line dot php. Okay, so now here I will write some PHP code. So I can write a PHP code. Echo, this is an example of command line PHP. So I'm just writing one single line, save it, and done. Now next is I will use that PHP interpreter to execute this command line PHP. So where is the PHP interpreter? It is in C drive, XAMPP, inside PHP folder is there, and inside it is php.exe. So this is my interpreter, PHP interpreter. And then after this, I will write the name of the file which I want to run using command line. So if I run this, you can see it has printed this. This is an example of command line PHP. Okay. So in this way, if we do not have a web server, so currently I am running through a web server. This is through a browser which is connecting to the web server and then executing the PHP. Otherwise, using command line also, or I can execute it. All I have to do is provide the path php.exe and then the name of the file which I want to execute, run. Okay, so Now, next thing is using PHP, we can also execute system commands. Okay, so suppose that I have system commands like uh, in Linux, if you see, we have ls or format or nano, we have so many commands are there. So if we want to execute those kind of commands, that is also possible using PHP. So let me show you an example. Here itself, in the command line PHP file, I will add notepad. So there is a function exec. So exec function is for executing any command. So like suppose I write here notepad. So it means it will execute this command notepad. Okay. Now let us run this again. Can you see a notepad has opened? And sorry, I have to interpret it, not open notepad. So I am using the php.exe and then the interpreter. So you can see that a blank notepad has opened. So this is example of exec. So exec is for executing any system commands. Now there is one more, cell underscore exec, which is for executing cell command. Now I do not have a cell currently, but if you are using Linux, so you can execute cell commands like that ls minus la. So that is a cell command. Or apart from cell command, if you want to execute any command, you can use exec. So this was command line PHP and how we can execute the any system commands. Now the question is, where is this used? Like exec, where do you use exec? Now nowadays many devices are there which have a web interface for their configuration. So like firewall is there, hardware firewall. Then we have UTM, we have email security appliance, um, we have web application firewall. Now all those security devices, they come with a web application. Okay. Now that web application is for, like, I can access from here itself my device. Okay. Like I will show you. Okay. So this is my checkpoint UTM. So this is my checkpoint UTM, which I can access from here itself because it has a web UI. And now once I log in here, so once I log in here, I can change my network interfaces also. Okay. So what I mean to say is that for changing any network related command like if CFG or like that. Now for those running commands, we will be using this exec function or cell underscore exec. So this is the example where exec can be used. Okay, so next we will move on to, so we have covered everything. Now next part is sending mails using PHP. Now, so we'll just, now if you want to send a mail using PHP, so by default PHP has a Now PHP has a method. So let me first go to mail.php. Consider. Now PHP has an inbuilt method which is mail, and you can see that it takes like whom you want to send to, then the subject, then the message, and then additional headers. So additional header like CC, BCC, reply to. So all those things will come in inside the additional headers. Now there is a single function, and all you have to do is it is a bit complicated, but you can send the mail. Now the first question is that if you are sending a mail, you require a SMTP server. So before I venture into how you can send a mail, I will first explain you how mailing works. Now, if you want to send a mail, the first thing is one thing is called MUA, which is mail user agent. Okay, so mail user agent is for composing a mail. So like we use Outlook or Thunderbird. So those are mail user agent. Now, then there is a, so suppose I am sending a mail from my Gmail server. So once the mail user agent has composed, it will contact the so it will try to contact this Gmail server because it has to send from Gmail. Now suppose the mail is written to live server. So like Anup at live.com or Anup at cdac.in. So from Gmail, you are sending the mail to Anup at cdac.in. So first step is Gmail must know what is the mail server of cdac.in. So it is required that Gmail knows the mail server of cdac.in. So for that, like if you remember in our web also, there was a DNS service which was telling us the name of the which was telling us the IP corresponding to the domain name. So like what is the IP for cdac.in, what is the IP for iref.in. So same way here also, to get the mail server address, Gmail will contact this DNS server. Now DNS server not only contains the IP address of domain name, it also contains the mail server address in the form of, we say it, MX record, which is mail exchanger record. So MX record, the basically the IP of the mail server will be written. So Gmail will request for the MX record of cdac.in because it has to send the mail to cdac.in. Now next step is that, so suppose this is my server of cdac.in. So this is cdac mail server. Now, so once it has got the IP address or MX record of cdac.in, it will transfer your mail to here. So this is done using protocol, usually SMTP. So SMTP is Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. And if you want to send an email, of course, like in Gmail, what do? You put your username and password. So at SMTP, authentication is also required for sending a mail from one server to another server. Okay. Now, this Gmail is also called as MTA. So MTA stands for Mail Transfer Agent. So the server has a software which is like MTA, Mail Transfer Agent, ultimately which uses SMTP so to transfer your mail from one server to another server. And after that, once it reaches the CDAC mail server, ultimately there will be a mailbox for Anup. So that mail server will drop this mail to this Anup's mailbox. So this is called MDA, which is Mail Delivery Agent. Okay, so MUA was, I will again write it, Mail User Agent for mostly composing the mail. And then this was Mail Transfer Agent. These are all softwares. It's not. So like example of mail transfer agent. So SendMail is one mail transfer agent, or Postfix is another mail transfer agent. So in Linux. Then Windows also, you can download some software which can act as a mail transfer agent. Okay, so this is the flow. So this is the step one. So this is a step one where mail user agent will compose a mail. Second, the mail user agent will contact the Gmail server, mail transfer agent. Now, mail transfer agent will third, it will request for the mail record of DNA, mail record of the receiving server like cdac.in. Now that DNS will return the MX record. That is the fourth step. Then fifth step is sending the mail. And once the mail is received, sixth step is delivering the mail to the Anup's mailbox. So these are the 6 steps which is generally done. There may be additional steps in making it secure at each, like in Gmail, they may establish a secure connection using SMTPS. So all those are, but on a broader view, this is how a mail is sent from one server to another. Now after this, I can use another MUA here. I can use another MUA here and fetch my mail from my mailbox to here using, there are 2 protocols. So I will just put it in name 7. And then the name of the protocol is POP or IMAP. So these are the 2 protocols which can be used for retrieving the mail from the mail server by a MUA. Okay, so I hope you got it. So I have to send a mail. So I composed a mail. Mail user agent contacted Gmail. Now Gmail has to send mail to cdac.in. So it must know what is the IP address for the mail server of cdac.in, not the web server. So it is asking for a MX record. Once the MX record is obtained, it will connect to the other server and send a mail using SMTP protocol. Once it has been received, it will be delivered to the individual's mailbox. And from that mailbox, you can fetch using your again mail user agent like Outlook or any email client using POP or IMAP protocol. So that is how a mail is sent from one user to another user. Questions? No question. Great. Yes, everything MDA, MTA, MUA, these are software. These are softwares. So mail delivery agent will be from CDAC. So there will be a software which is responsible for putting mails in individual mailboxes. Okay. So what I was saying is that PHP has an inbuilt function mail for sending mail. Now we can use that mail function, but then the most important part in this image was that I have to authenticate myself. So in the mail function, in this mail function, everything was there. I mean, to was there, then to was there, from was there, headers are there where I can specify CC, BCC, message body, subject, but there was no authentication mechanism. So where is this authentication mechanism located? So basically it is located in your php.ini file. So there you have to add the detail of your SMTP server, what will be the username, what will be password. Now, suppose you are using multiple mail servers, then it will be difficult to maintain all those records. So therefore, we will be using an external library, which is PHP mailer for sending emails. Okay. So instead of directly using mail, we will be using a PHP mailer. Now, so before we start with PHP mailer, I will show you another thing. So can you see this composer require PHP mailer slash PHP mailer? Okay. So now you may have used CentOS or Red Hat Linux. So if you want to install any package, what do you use? Yum. So we use yum install, then like httpd, yum install, bind. So any package that we want to install, we will use yum. Now, what yum does is basically it not only searches for your package, it also resolves the dependency. So if your package is dependent on any other package, so it will download that also and install it in your system. So it is called package and dependency manager. So it manages not only your package, it also manages the dependency. If we have used Ubuntu, same thing is done with aptitude. So we write apt install Apache or apt-get install Apache. So in Ubuntu, apt or aptitude is the package manager. So same way for PHP also, there are many packages which you can import into your project. Now to manage those packages, we have a software called Composer. Okay, so if we use Composer and run command like this, it will automatically download whatever package I want to download. So we'll see how the Composer works. So Composer PHP. So this is the website getcomposer.org. Okay. Now, so this is a dependency manager for PHP. So we'll simply click on download. And this is the Composer setup.exe. So let us download this. So this is one way that you download and execute. Another way is this command. So you can run these commands and it will be downloaded. So, but I am using this setup.exe because I have that Windows system, so I can easily use exe file. Now, once downloaded, you can install it. And after installation, so in Windows, it is quite easy. Next, 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 finish. And then in Linux, you can use these lines. Now I have already installed it. So after you have installed, all you have to do is run this composer command. But composer must be run in the folder where you want to download it. Okay. So like if you want, let me show you how the setup is there. So I will just run this setup. So install for all users. And then again, next, 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 install. Next, finish. So done. So my installation is complete. Now after that, if I want to use this composer to download any package in my project folder, so first I need to go to that project folder. Okay, so like in the command line, I am already there in this project folder, C, JAMP and PG tag, and now I want to download my package here. So for PHP mailer, you can run this command. Composer require PHP mailer. Copy and right click, paste here and run. So this will download PHP mailer and all required dependency. Okay, so let it get completed.
Sir, can we do this on Mac too?
Yes. Okay, now this composer has been installed. Sorry, this composer has downloaded PHP mailer. Now if we go to our folder, you can see there is a composer.json, there is a composer.log, and there is a vendor folder inside which there is a PHP mailer. Okay, so there is a vendor folder in which all the external libraries will come. So like PHP mailer is here. And then there is a and then one more important file is autoload.php, in which it is simply written what it has to add inside your project. And then there is a composer.json, which tells that what applications that you are using. So like PHP mailer is the one which is there currently downloaded by composer. If you add any more thing, you can add here also, or you can use command line. Okay, we'll see it later. Now, once your download is complete, PHP mailer, then you can go to your mail function. Where is the mail.php? And then again, go back here, and any package manager, it will give you the instruction on how to use your PHP mailer. So for this package. So what I have to do is, all I have to do is copy paste this. Control C, Control V. And after that, I can make changes in this. So like what changes can I make? Like here, let us start from the start. So it is doing mail equal to new PHP mailer. Okay. And after that, it is setting the host. So I want to send a mail using, suppose, smtp.gmail.com. So I will change the host name to smtp.gmail.com because I want to send a mail using Gmail. Sujit is again asking that same procedure we have to install it on Mac. Mac exe won't work, so you better use the other method here by running this command. Next, we can change the host, that smtp.gmail.com. Then username also I have to change. So like I will have to put my username. Then I have to change the password, which I won't show you here. Port, you have to see what is the port for your server. So like for Gmail, it is 587 itself. Then set from, so from where the mail is going. So anoopmis@gmail.com. And then I will write the name also, Anoop. Add address is for whom do you want to send. So suppose I put here anoopmis@live.com. And then name again, I will put Anoop. I don't want to add any more extra or reply to or CC, BCC. So this is for adding CC and BCC. So I don't want, so I will remove this. Attachment means I can add any external file. I won't add, but if I want to add, I can add, like suppose img/cdac.png, and I can give any name like cdac logo. Then is HTML true? So is HTML true? It means that in the body part, I can write any HTML tag also. Okay. So this is the subject, like subject means mail subject. So demo of PHP mailer. And then body, I can write anything, whatever I want. And what is the alternate body? Alternate body is that if any mail server doesn't support HTML, so this is the alternate body in which the HTML tags has been removed. So this is for non-HTML mail servers. And finally, you can send the mail. You can send the mail using this function, send mail send. And if any error is there, it will show in the exception. So this is how you can do it. Now for Gmail, sometimes giving your password doesn't work. So there is one thing called app password. So you search on here, Google or Gmail, generate app password. And then it will tell you the steps on how you can generate app password. So app password uh, will be something like this password, some random password which will be generated, and you can use that password for connecting to Gmail and sending mail. So I won't go through that, how you can generate an app password. You have to just check it. So once this is ready, I can use this to send a mail. Now, if I currently try to send mail, it won't work. There are two reasons. One is the password, and second is the my system. My system is not a server. It's working on local host. So that's why what I have done is I have hosted this PHP mailer function just for demo purpose. Yesterday only I added to my one of my server. So I have one server 1.iref.in/mail. Now if I run here, currently it won't work. So it is not working for now. So what I will do is I will just enable it. So I so I have enabled it. Now I will use that URL. Okay, so this is the response that it's tried to connect it to SMTP server on this one.iref.in. It used start TLS. I can make it large if you want, and then various thing that it is sending a mail to Anup MIS at live.com from Anup Kumar Pandey at gmail.com. This is the subject, and this finally the message has been sent. Okay, so this is how the message has been sent. If you want to see if I have received any message now, we'll go to live.com. And you can see just now I have received a message at 11:38. So here, this is the message. This is the HTML body in bold. Okay, so this was how to send uh, a message using PHP mailer, email using PHP mailer. Any question in this? So important part here was the composer. So how we can download and install composer, and later on anything I want to do, any external package I want to use. So we can go to one website is there, packagist.org. So here there are many packages. It's a PHP package repository. So you can search for any package, and then you use that step for downloading that. So like suppose that what I want is I want a converter. So I want a converter which will convert my file to PDF file using PHP. So I will search. So there is one package called DOM PDF. So this is DOM PDF. I will go to DOM PDF, and then this is the description. So if I know the package, I can directly search here, or I can also search directly in Google. So like DOM PDF, and it gave me the GitHub link. So I can go to GitHub, and there here also it will give me all information like how I can install or how I can use it. So like for using, this is the method. So otherwise, I can directly go to this website, packagist.org, and whatever package I want to search for PHP, I can search here and then follow the step which is written for downloading anything. So like here, you can see for downloading, it is saying that use this command. So let me copy this and I will paste it in the command line and let it download. In between, if you have any question or a problem in understanding, you can just put it in chat box. Okay, so can you see that it has finally downloaded the DOM PDF. Now let us go back to our project and go to the vendor folder. Now you can see that apart from this PHP mailer, it has a DOM PDF also. Okay, so apart from PHP mailer, we have a DOM PDF. Now I will create a new file, pdf.php, and I will just move it outside. Now I want to, I have some information which I want to convert to PDF. So what I have to do is I can use DOM PDF. Just now I have downloaded and I want to use it. Now for using it, I will follow the instruction which is given here. So this is the instruction. So I will simply paste it here, and I also need to include sorry, I need to add this autoloader. Now what does it do? It will create a object DOM PDF, and inside that I can write any text. So like I can write, this is an example of PDF creation from DOM PDF. And then I am setting the paper size to A4. Now landscape is there. Instead I can choose portrait, and then it will render and generate the output to PDF. Let us see if this works. If it doesn't work, then we'll create a file itself. So autoloader is from Composer, which loads all the dependencies and the not only dependency, but so it downloads all the basically all these files, whatever we have added, like um, what PSP mailer or DOM PDF. It is for adding all the related folders. So if I remove this, we'll just see instead of. So if I remove this and run it, so it will say that this class not found because it did not load that class. Now, if I go back here in the autoload.php, save it, run it. So it created a document1.pdf, and if you want to see this document1.pdf, you can see here the content is, this is an example of PDF creation from DOM PDF. Okay. So autoloader will basically load all the dependency which we will be using. So like in this case, I am using DOM PDF / DOM PDF mail. I was using 3 PHP mailer, SMTP and exception. So autoloader is important. So is it clear how we can create a PDF from how we can create a PDF from some text? So like this is a text. I can add anything. I can add any HTML information here. Yes, this is the PDF. So I ran this pdf.php. Control C. Let me run this again. And one file has been downloaded, document.pdf. If I click on this, it is showing the content. This is an example of PDF creation from DOM PDF. If I change the content here, like this is a second example of DOM PDF. Let me try something. So img source equal to source equal to img / cdac dot png and width equal to 100. So this is a second example of DOM PDF, and I also have added an image tag with source at cdac.png. Now let us see, does this work or not? So I will just run this again. And it has created a new document, document3.pdf. And if I open this, you can see that image has also come and text is also there. So any HTML content, it can be converted into a PDF. So I could have written text color, I could have changed the background color, everything it will come in this final PDF. Yes, we can add CSS, everything we can add. So basically, first it parses the HTML and then it converts it to, it converts it here. Like, suppose if I add it to paragraph and paragraph style equal to color red. And then I will change, add this paragraph. So now it is a paragraph whose color is red, and after that a image is there. I will save this, run it. It has downloaded the document, and now you can see that the color is now red. Is it fine? Any question in this? So this anyway, this was also there in the syllabus on how to you can create a PDF. But this is also an example of how you can use a package manager to download any external package and include it in your package. So Composer is in that way very easy and very easy. Now again, we will go back to this composer.json, and now you can see that it has two packages. One was PHP mailer and one is DOM PDF. So if you make change here, that is also fine, or the best way is to run from the command line. PGF composer require and then the name of the package. So Mayur is asking, can we see preview or directly get final output? So the best way is you create an HTML file. Okay, so you can create an HTML file, load that file here, and pass it to this load HTML. So once you have created your HTML file, you just see how does it look like in your browser, and then you pass it to this load HTML file. So in that way, you can see the preview. Okay, so create an external HTML file, write everything, see the preview, and once it is finalized, that file you can pass it here. Okay, so today we'll finish up here. So we have today what we have covered. So we saw example of file reading and writing. So for reading, there are functions like file underscore get underscore content, then read file, or you can use fopen and fread combination for reading a file. For writing a file, we saw file underscore put underscore contents, and other way was using a combination of fopen and fwrite. In fwrite, we saw two modes. One was write mode, one was append mode. Write mode, if a file is not there, it will create a file, or it will overwrite the file. Append mode, it will either create a file if it is not there, or it will append to the existing file. Next, we saw classes. Just so Damini is asking, but the image tag won't work if HTML or PHP file is in another folder and IMG is in another folder. It is working now. See, I have already written here the source equal to img slash cdat.png. It means it is in another folder. Okay, so after that we saw classes, in which we saw inheritance, function overloading, function overriding. And uh, then we saw XML read and write. So we had a simple XML class for which we created an object for writing purpose, and there is a function simple XML load file for reading purpose. Now all we got was a combination of object and array, so which we can of course iterate through. Then of course, we have gone through PHP mailer. And for PHP mailer, since it is an external package, we used Composer. So Composer is downloadable. You can download it. If you cannot download it, then there are commands which are given to run on the command line, and it will automatically download and install Composer. Once it is installed, all you have to do is search for the package, for which I showed you. Either you can directly go to the GitHub page, or you can go to Packagist, and there you can search for what package you require. Once you receive that package, you can follow the instructions which are written for installation, as well as how you can execute. So that's all for today. Now Monday. Now Monday we will focus on regular expression and validation. So we can also see how attacks like injection attacks can happen on your website, and then I will show you how you can make change in your website, and then your website will be secure. Okay, so mostly on Monday only first half we will take the class. If we have still any questions remaining, then we will take the second half also. Exam, what about exam? Exam, we'll see. So unless I tell you, forget exam. Next question from Murtaza is, should I need to install PHP extension? Which extension? I see, Murtaza, I don't know which extension are you talking about. Now, PHP not connected to database. By default, every PHP will have database connectivity. Local server, usually PHP mailing doesn't work, because Gmail, it won't be able to establish a TLS connection with your local host. Salni. Siv is asking version control. Version control is not in my scope. For version control, you can use different other systems, like you can use GitHub, you can use Mercurial, you can use any version control system. So it has nothing to do with PHP. Raksha is asking, take exam for us, it will be helpful. Main problem is that how do I take exam? If I take online examination, you can search on Google and write answers. So, and if I give you some very difficult questions which you won't find in the exam, then anyway you will fail, because you also may not be knowing that. So this is the problem. Honesty is the problem here.